In this last video in our data chain sequence, I want to recap on everything we've talked about and also provide some of the solutions that we have seen in the market. So let's start with the data chain that you can see again here. We talked about all the different actors from the component manufacturers to the OEM vehicle manufacturers and then the end users and or leasing partners, insurance, etc. that need and use data and also provide data that can help the industry to build a digital data chain with insights that can professionalize services, but also manufacturing and bring a lot of resilience to the supply chain. Then let's recap really quickly what kind of data we need to share. In general, we have product and master data. We have transaction and contractual data, then demand and forecasting data, and then finally performance, lifecycle, and sustainability data. And that data can come in different forms. So you have numbers such as forecasts, you have identifiers such as the EIN number or a specific PO number that should be shared between the two transaction partners. You have reports, drawings, lists, protocols about everything that has been discussed for a specific product or order. And then you have documents such as inventory or delivery notes. Now, what are the challenges in sharing all that data across different companies and along the supply chain? We have missing standardization, so saying what kind of data actually needs to be shared and how can we do this most efficiently by using the same names or the same data format. And that's also challenge number 2, that companies use different IT systems which then have different data formats. So you can't just send one data to a different system without translating it into the new format. And in general, what we've seen is that the same data has to be entered by multiple parties. So a product specification for a brake is usually decided on or entered by the supplier, and then the OEM vehicle manufacturer needs to re-enter that data into their systems, and then the retailer would have to enter the same data again. So there's a lot of room for human error. You have a challenge of having that IT knowledge internally in your company and training people on using different software solutions for entering, maintaining, and sharing data. And it also comes with a change process to go from email or Excel sheet to an ERP system, for example, which is a big change in a company and its processes. Obviously, sharing data to other companies is also a security risk. So you need to understand how data is encrypted, how it is shared, and how it is used by the other party. And then finally, all of this comes together to administrative costs and discipline in terms of entering and maintaining data, and then also thinking across company borders. So not just thinking about how can I, for myself, generate and use data, but how can I be a good partner, whether it's a supplier or a customer, in providing the data that my partners need, and in order to have a very transparent and resilient supply chain, which is important and a good thing for the entire industry. So we need to break up the silos across the chain for the entire industry to professionalize and grow in the future. Now, some of the solutions that we've seen in bringing more transparency and bringing more digitalization to the supply chain in the cycling or micromobility industry are IoT systems. So you can see that, for example, motor manufacturers already know a lot about how specific brakes or components are being used. And now the question is, how can the entire industry profit from that? You have IoT solutions such as smart frame numbers, where bill of materials can be shared with the end customers and dynamically updated and changed when, for example, a component is replaced, which is a key data point for lifecycle assessments of this component manufacturer and of this component. And then you have different aftermarket product management platforms where data is provided by the OEM vehicle manufacturer or supplier to retailers and customers to know exactly what is the component in what specifications in my vehicle. So there is different solutions out there, but we've identified one gap in that market that we are trying to fill with Noka, and that is supply chain collaboration. So it's our goal and our vision to digitally exchange data along the entire supply chain, starting with product data, as well as transactional data. So through our solution, component suppliers can share product data with their customers, which then is automatically transferred into the bill of material, which that OEM vehicle manufacturer can share in return with their retailers. And here the key is that the data is entered by the company once, by the supplier who has the best knowledge about this component, and then can automatically be updated with all the different supply chain actors that need that data. And here, in our solution, you can either do that through our UI or through an API, so a connector that translates your data format of your existing IT systems, such as ERP or PMI systems, into the data format that we have on the platform. And with one API, you can then connect with all your business partners. So you only need to set this up and maintain it once, while building then a digital bridge to your entire supply chain. And then next to sharing product and transaction data and documents such as invoices or delivery notes, Noka also has a central point for communication through an integrated chat and CRM functions. So you can imagine that we connect product listings with companies and then with bill of materials, so that you can decide exactly what information do I want to share with my suppliers and retailers, and update that super efficiently across different products and different companies. So if there's anything we have missed in the data chain of micromobility and bicycle, please do comment below. And if you want to chat about anything related to sharing data and supply chain collaboration, please feel free to reach out.